I'm Natalie, the chicken keeper here at Cotton River Farm.
And I'm her dad, a builder with over 40 years in construction.
Together, we've built a hoop coop that's not only easy to build, but affordable.
We'll walk you through the whole process, giving you all the tips and tricks to make it faster and less hassle.
Plus, our inexpensive wheel design makes it easy to move the coop whenever you need to.
So whether you're a beginner or a seasoned homesteader, this build is perfect for you.
Let's get started.
This is a hoop coop. They've actually been around for a long time and they've got a lot of advantages. They're built out of these cattle panel fence sections and they just bend them over a frame. They're inexpensive to build, but until now they've been kind of a pain. But we have solved all those problems with our new way of building these coops. Here are the top 5 reasons you want one of these coops. It's affordable. It's accessible. You can walk in the full length of the coop. It's low maintenance. The problem with chicken coops is chicken poop. It gets everywhere. But with this round shape, there's practically no horizontal surfaces for it to collect. It's easy to build. It's lightweight and mobile. There's great advantages to keeping chickens on fresh grass. And with our new wheel system, it's easy to move. All right, well, let me give you a tour. As you can see, it's nice and tall. It's 6 foot 4 inches here in the center. And the food and water containers hang on each side of the door, so you can service them without having to go in the coop if you don't want to. So as we go inside, as we step in here, we've got roost bars down both sides. Now, this is a 3 cattle panel hoop coop, as it's 12 feet long. So it'll handle up to 30 laying hens. But the 2 panel coop that we're going to show you how to build today will handle 20 laying hens. And here in the back, we've got our community nesting box. Now, we've got a perch bar here with a chain, so it's retractable. You can flip it up like this to block the nesting box to prevent them from roosting in there overnight. We don't want them pooping in our nesting box. So a handy feature to be able to pull this up from outside the coop. And we'll show you that in just a second. See, we've got that chain on a little ring here, so to retract that perch on the inside, you just pull it up, hook it on this screw, and that closes the nesting box for the night, so they can't get in there and roost. And here's our outside of our nesting box. We've got an outside door, it just flips down and you can grab your eggs from the back. Nice and easy to pick up your eggs. But some people think the best feature of this coop is this new wheel system. One pull of the handle, this 2x2 swings down and holds the coop up in the right place. The base setting is good for when you have chickens in the coop where you don't want them to escape, so it just holds it up maybe 1.5 inches off the ground. If you have need to have it higher, you simply pull it back and it has another stop level to hold it higher. And when you're finished, nice and easy to set down, you just take a little pressure on the thing and flip the 2x2 up and down she goes. Now at the end of the video, we're going to show you how to build out this new wheel system, so don't miss it. So in the past, why have these been so hard to build? It's because they're round. Some people have a hard time with round, and we'll show you that in a little bit. And we'll show you how we've improved the construction process to make these easy. We put together a full material list and a detailed plan set that shows you exactly how to cut which piece from which board for minimal waste. It gives all the lengths, angles, and construction sequence to make these fast and easy. I sure wish I'd had these plans. It saved me a ton of time. If you cut just one board wrong, it would pay for the plans. We put a link in the description below. Be sure to get one. You'll be glad you did. A couple of years ago, my daughter wanted a chicken tractor, so I built her this more conventional design. But after we used it a while, we figured out there's a lot of drawbacks. So I'm going to let her explain them.
We have this door for ventilation, but it's not enough. The biggest threat to chickens is actually the heat, not the cold. It's also difficult to access your roost if you need to help a sick or injured bird. The run is also not big enough. It really can only accommodate about 6 to 8 chickens. This nesting box is great, but all the hens end up wanting to lay in the same box. And when you try to pressure wash it, all of the gunk flies back in your face. It's so hard to clean. This has been a great coop, but the wheels have failed despite our best efforts. It's super heavy and hard to move.
All right, I'll quickly show you this wheel system because it's a common problem with all these chicken tractors. We had it on here and it will pick it up, but you can see that the extreme weight of this tractor wants to take this wheel and tip it out. The steel bolt is serving as your axle pivot just rips up in the wood. It's just not compatible. And all these chicken tractors suffer the same problem. The wheel is attached out on the side of the coop. The load is off center. Now the only solution to this has been to buy these expensive welded steel wheel systems. And they work, but they're a lot of money. We're going to show you our new wheel system that is not only inexpensive, it works well. Our new hoop coop solves all of those problems. It's really roomy and it's inexpensive to build. And today we're going to show you, today we're going to show you step by step how to build one. So the typical way that these hoop coops are built is you take the cattle panel and you set it just inside the frame, like so. And there you have it, the conventional hoop coop. And here you have the fundamental problem with the hoop coop. This wire panel wants to sashay all over the place. So when you go to frame up these end walls, it can be a fairly challenging thing. So typically what people are doing, they're grabbing a level and they're going to put it right here at the side of the door. And they're trying to hold this plumb in position while this cattle panel is flopping all over the place. Really hard to do that because what they're trying to do is hold this so they can mark this curve right on the top of the 2x4. And that's just a really awkward and cumbersome thing to do. It's much easier to build this end wall laying on the ground. That way you can fabricate it exactly in position and stand it up. And we'll show you that on the finished coop that we've already done. What you want to do is fabricate this entire end wall laying on the ground. It's much easier to position your parts and get them in position when they're laying down on a work surface. And you simply fasten them all together and stand it up. And it's really easy with the plans that we've provided because it gives us the exact angle here on each end of the header, the exact angles for these braces, the exact lengths of all the parts, and you just assemble them on the ground and stand them up. And once this frame is up there, it's rigidly in position, and it's simply a matter of carrying the cattle panel over and draping it over your frame, and it'll just fit perfectly, and you just fasten it off. And it's just super easy, and we're going to show you how we do that. It's a much easier way of building a hoop coop. All right, now we're going to give you the short version of how to build this coop. We didn't want to make the video too long, but we wanted to make sure you had all the information you needed to build it. So we've made a second video, a full build video that will guide you step by step through the entire process. After having built a couple of these, we've learned all the tips and tricks to make this easy. So when you're ready to build one, be sure to watch that video. I guarantee you it will save you lots of time. Oh, included in the plans is a full material list. And to keep the cost as low as possible, we shopped this pretty hard. And as it turns out, many of those products were cheapest on Amazon. So we've included the affiliate links for those products in the description below. Be sure to check it out. So let's get started building a hoop coop. Okay, the first step of building the end walls of these chicken coops is cutting this top header piece right here. And it's the more challenging one because you got to know the length and angle to cut on these ends. And of course the plans show that. We've got actual template that you lay right on your board, and we'll show you that in just a second. Okay, to cut the top header for these end walls, all we need to do is get one of our 12-foot 2x4s. Now the plans have a full material list and it tells you which board to cut each piece so you have the minimal amount of waste. You go to the plan set and it's got a sheet for curved ends of door header. It's got a paper template to help us cut this piece. You got a curved line here, a dotted line. You simply take the scissors and you cut out the curve of that piece right along your dotted line there. So once you've cut that out, you've got the nice curve, and you'll simply lay your pattern or template right on your board, aligning this dotted line right here with the edge of the board, and you'll simply mark right along your pattern or template right along here. Be a little easier with a Sharpie here, but the pencil will do. And there you've got your curved line. And you'll pull over the length, and you'll flip the template over, and you'll do the opposite way. Now line it up and mark along the curve, and you've got your top header piece. There you got it. Okay, the next step in prefabricating these end walls is to cut these angle braces. And they're identical on each side, and of course identical front and back of the coop. And once again, the plan set has a paper template that will give you this exact angle here and also on the bottom. So you simply lay it on the side of the board and mark it. Of course, you can just use this one as a pattern to cut the other 3. And the final piece we need to build these end walls are these 2 jambs on each side of the door. And they're nice and easy because they're just square cut. So we cut those and we're ready to prefab these walls. All right, we got our full stack of all the components. Let's put them together. All right, that completes one end wall of this chicken coop. So we just stand it up out and get it out of the way and we'll build the next one. We've got our 2 end walls prefabricated on the ground, and now you're going to see how easy it is to put together a hoop coop doing it this way. And now it's time to set our cattle panels. And this is much easier when you have these prefabricated frames. You just pick it up nice and high and walk it down, set it down in one side, walk around, grab it and set it down in the other. Nice and easy. Just situate it over our end wall frame. Ready to go. We'll go ahead and get the second panel. Put your foot on it. Nice and easy. 2 panels go right in there. It drapes right across the corners. And now all we have to do is put our little stainless steel clips to clip it on the top. These little clips are game changers for doing these hoop coops. Because formerly everybody was trying to take some kind of metal strap and, you know, makeshift, put it around this wire to fasten it off. But these little fence clips, stainless steel, so they're going to hold up, are just perfect. Because all you have to do is clip it right around the end of that wire, push the tab over, and then run a screw in it. It sucks them down real tight. It's just perfect. Super secure, nice and easy, stainless steel clip that'll last a long, long time. Okay, this end wall is exactly the same as our door, but we need 2 crossbars in here above and below our nesting box. All right, that gives us a slot for our nesting box to go in. Okay, now we're ready to put the hardware cloth on this, and we want to start on both ends of the coop. All right, so we want to take and bend this right over that cattle panel, just right down on it. You just want to crimp that tightly right around the top of that cattle panel. And we'll just keep going like that all the way down the side of the... Okay, we're ready to put the hardware cloth over the top of the coop. And these cattle panels are 16 feet long. We've cut this hardware cloth 16 foot 2 inches because we want it to lap down on the side of this bottom rail on each side. Okay, we got that wire all tucked down in here behind our cattle panel. So now we're ready to get these clips on here. So we just take that little clip, snap it over the wire, bend the tab over, and run a screw in it. So you'll cinch that right up and hold it tight as it can be. Sucks those things up nice and tight, engages the hardware cloth, holds the cattle panel secure. We'll just run those all the way down both sides. All right, we're ready to assemble the door for this coop. So now all we got to do is put this hardware cloth on the back of the door. I've got my good help here. We'll be ready to mount this on the coop. All right, buddy. Thank you. Good job. All right, so there you got it. Okay, now we're going to build the nesting box. It's just a plywood box, and we're going to make it where it'll slide right between these two 2x4s. Now they're 30 inches apart, so we're going to build this 29 7/8, so it can just slide straight in there, and then we'll just run a screw right through the plywood side of the nesting box into this 2x4 on each side to secure the nesting box in place. Now this nesting box was actually built as a rollout nesting box. So it's got a little panel in here between the nesting area and where the eggs roll out, and that makes it nice. You can reach in here and get the eggs. But frankly, this is the first time I built one of these, so I just wanted to give it a shakeout cruise to make sure it performs in the optimum fashion before I make a set of plans and give all the dimensions for it. But you can still build the same box with a flat bottom that's not rollout. You'll still be able to access it via this outside door. Now what you want to do, this has a piece of indoor-outdoor carpet. You could use one of those nesting pads, but you want to have the hardware cloth bottom. That way you can pull this liner out and pressure wash down through the hardware cloth. Because if you have an enclosed box and you go to pressure wash it, it's going to blow all that crud right in your face. No fun at all. Been there, done that. So by having a hardware cloth on the bottom, you can easily wash that out and then put your nesting pad back into place. We're going to build this as a standard box, and we'll show you step by step how we do that. So let's get started. All right, that gives us our box. Now all we have to do is make a panel to go right here on the bottom. All right, there you got it. There's your bottom. Now we're going to paint that and then cover it with the hardware cloth, and then it'll just go right in the bottom. Okay, we've got the bottom all covered with hardware cloth. I'm going to go ahead and build this one with a sloped bottom because my intention is to later make this into a rollout nesting box after I've had a chance to, do a shakeout cruise on the previous one that I built. Make sure that the slope of this bottom, the nature of the door, everything about it, that works out like we want it. So anyway, I'm going to put this one in here. All right, there's our nesting box. So now all we need to do is hang the door in this end of it and then put our red vinyl curtain on the other side. There we go. All right, we got our latches in here. All right, we've got this community nesting box, but we need it dark inside, and this red vinyl is what we're going to use to do it. Now, they tell us that chickens are attracted to red, so all the commercial providers of these types of boxes use red. So why not? It looks pretty, and maybe it does the trick. So we'll just cut out our little vinyl covering. We're going to cut a little door for the chickens in here. Now we got this nesting box ready to go in the coop, and I got 2 good helpers right here to help me do it. So all we gotta do is just take this nesting box and set it right in the bottom here. All right, and tip it up. It goes, see how it goes right between these 2 boards? All right, grab a hold of it under here and don't let it fall, okay? You're gonna sit right there. All right, the first thing we had to do, we slipped this nesting box right in between these 2 boards, and then we want the plywood flush right with the inside of this board. And we ran a screw in it here, and also on the other side, right here. Good job. All right, is that gonna do the trick?
Yeah.
You think those hens will go in there and lay us plenty of eggs?
Yeah.
I don't know why not. That's a mighty good looking coop.
He's checking out his new
Yeah, they're trying to come in here right now. All right, bud. Here, stand right over here. Help me hold this up. Okay, now we got to put the perch on here for this nesting box so the chickens can fly up on here and then go into the nesting box. So let's get this centered up right here. And you hold it right there. Don't let it move. All right, you ready?
Yep.
See if you can run that screw in right there for me. All right. Try it out. Yeah, flip it up.
See, now they can't get in.
Well, thank you guys for all your help. Now, how do we raise this perch from outside the coop?
A chain in here.
A chain, that's right.
And then we will screw a hole through here.
All right.
And there will be a circle thing right here that...
And so you can pull it up from outside?
Yeah, and then there will be a...
When we pull it, what's going to happen? It flips up, and what does that do?
And then it blocks them from
It blocks them from getting inside the nesting box?
Yeah.
So no roosters allowed?
No roosters allowed.
All right. Thank you, guys. All right, all that remains is to put the sheet metal roof on our nesting box. All right, I want to show you this wheel system. Now, earlier in the video, we showed you the common problem with chicken tractor wheels, and that is that the wheel is mounted off on the side of the coop. So the off-center load wants to tip the wheel over. It happens over and over again. It's a real problem. But this wheel system is superior in that the load is centered on the wheel. So because the side skid of the tractor runs on back, it allows this wheel to set directly behind it. The load is symmetrical on the end of the skid, and so it's not going to tip that wheel over. This works really well. Now, we did a lot of experimenting with the various location for these pivot points to give it the optimum performance. And all that's shown in detail in the plan set. So we put this little stop on here to define 2 different levels of raising the coop up that we feel like are optimum for our uses. One, a lower setting for moving it when birds are in the coop, and then a higher setting for when you're trying to move it over rough ground. But it's fully adjustable. You can do whatever you want. You can substitute anything in here to give it any height you want. But this wheel system works really well. It's easy to raise, it's convenient. We're just really excited about this wheel system. I think he's excited about it too. Let's jump right in and show you step by step how to build out this wheel system. All right, to get started on our wheel system, we need 2 pieces of pressure treated plywood for each wheel. So we'll just go ahead and lay those out real quick. Those are called out very clearly on the plan. We'll just cut that out with a saber saw and use it as a pattern to set on our other ones. All right, we'll take our 1/2-inch bit and we'll drill these holes. There you have it. You got the wheel system that's very inexpensive to build. 2 pieces of plywood, 2 wheels from Harbor Freight for, I think they're $8 a wheel. So, super cheap way to do this. All right, the next step is we just got to assemble this wheel system onto the runner of the coop. And we just set it on here, straddling it like that. There you go. The next step is to install our prop rod here. So just drop it in here like so. Put a nut on it. And there we go. We'll put our little stop bar on here later. But you can see how easy it is to raise up. It just swings down and holds it. Flip it down. Super quick and easy. We've got a 12 by 16 foot tarp. You know, often tarps are actually fabricated smaller than their stated size, but this particular one is a tarp that's manufactured to be full dimension. So it is a true 12 foot by 16 foot. And that works perfectly for the 3-panel coop, but for the 2-panel, it needs to be smaller. They don't make a tarp in this size. So we simply use the same 12 foot by 16 foot tarp and just fold it back on itself like this to get that 101/2 inch width that we need to drape over this coop. Hey, everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right, pick it up and we'll walk it up here just like this. Straight up over the top. Thank you guys so much for all your help for building this chicken coop. Was it fun?
Yeah.
Hey, what's the best thing about having chickens?
I can give you eggs.
All right, give me a high five, everybody. High five, high five. This is all done. Ready for the chickens. On this coop, we've got an automatic chicken door, and it's always better to free-range chickens. And if you're doing that, you don't really have to move this coop but every 3 or 4 days. Whereas if they're kept inside all the time, you got to move them every other day at least. So to move it is very easy. All we got to do is pull back on our handles. The 2x2 swings down and holds this up about 1.5 inches high on the back. And that allows us to pull it forward. All you need to do is pick this front up just enough to make it move. Super easy. Move it forward on fresh grass. Nothing like keeping chickens on fresh grass. Hey guys, your chickens are waiting. Get started and build one. The link to the plans and material list is in the description below. Order today and get a free guide, the 10 most important things you need to know about chickens.
Thanks for watching our Hoop Coop build video.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't miss out on all of our great info and homesteading tips. Happy building.